Hello everybody, Tapper here. For this video, I'd like to talk about the first alien race I designed, the Sarpas. Sarpas were inspired by Nagas and Maharagas, and as a way of helping myself narrow down what snakes I was combining in order to figure out their designs, I went with snakes that were found in the countries where the two originated, at least according to Wikipedia, and that's also going to dictate what part of the universe they specifically are found in. I changed the name for two reasons. The first reason is because I don't want to step on any toes. Sure, a lot of people called their snake people Nagas, but I don't want to be too callous with someone else's religion, especially when I'm not completely clear on if it's dead or not. The second reason is that Nagas are distinctly part human, part cobra, and Maharagas are the lesser-known python cousin, and I'm using all the snakes I find, with a notable exception. When I initially came up with them, I was going to use all snakes in the designated location. Then I realized that the blind snakes and thread snakes were just too different from all the rest of them, being in a different superfamily, I think. So while I'll still have some human blind snake combinations, they're going to be way smaller and technically count as a branch of fairies. From there, I decided to combine the snakes by family, first merging all species in a single genus, and then merging those genera within their family. I left them separate from there because it would have gotten far too complicated to combine them when the reason they were separated into families to begin with was because they were different from each other. So there are multiple Sarpa clans, where, while they're all part human, their snake parts are all different. Also, a little pet peeve of mine that I do want to address briefly before I move on to talk about each different clan. Nagas aren't half human, half snake, at least not the way they're generally drawn. And everything below their human waistline isn't just a snake tail. People who claim that their Naga is a human from the waist up and just has the snake's tail doesn't know all that much about snakes. Lizards have their tail equaling up to half of their total length, but a snake's tail only takes up a third of their total length at most, and it's usually less. The majority of a snake's total length is their body. If you want your Naga to be talking about what they're doing with their snake part, have them say coils. It's more accurate than tail. Okay, rant over. Back to the original point of the video. I more or less tackled these families in alphabetical order, although I've saved the most popular one for last. It's been long enough that I no longer remember the exact order, so I'll just talk about them in alphabetical order. Also, I apologize in advance if I fail to pronounce any of these Latin names correctly. Family Acrocortidae. Inspired and influenced by wart snakes, Java wart snakes, file snakes, elephant trunk snakes, or dog-faced snakes. This had actually been fairly easy to create, as it was a monogeneric family created for the genus Acrocortis. This is a group of primitive aquatic snakes found in Australia and tropical Asia. Last time I checked, 3 species were recognized. All are entirely aquatic, lacking the broad belly scales found in most other snakes, and possessing dorsally located eyes. Their most notable feature is their skin and scales. The skin is loose and baggy, giving the impression of being several sizes too large for the snake, and the scales, rather than overlapping, are tiny pyramidal projections that led to their common names. These snakes are ambush predators, lurking at the bottom of rivers, streams, and estuaries, waiting for fish to approach, which they grip with their coils. The rough scales allow them to hold the fish despite the mucus coating. The Sarpas get a decent amount of the same traits, although calling them primitive might be a stretch. This one's found in 12 different spots in the galaxy. 4 of them are proper family fusions, 7 are based exclusively on the wart snake, and the last is based exclusively on the elephant trunk snake. Family Homalopsidae. I didn't save what this family of snakes was called, like with Acrocortidae. I'll probably put it on the screen real quick when I find it, if future Tapper can figure out how to edit videos. These Sarpas are only found in 2 places. Family Boidae, inspired and influenced by boas. They can end up possibly mistaken for the pythons, because they are very similar, having a lot of the same traits. But they do have a few hidden differences, including just being ovoviviparous, with females giving birth to live young, rather than pythons, which lay eggs. These Sarpas are found in 6 spots in the galaxy, with 3 of them being proper fusions, 2 based specifically on the common sand boa, and the last based on a boa that I only saved in my notes as Candoia carinata. Family Colubridae. Oh boy! This clan of Sarpas is found in 18 out of the 19 spots Sarpas are found in the galaxy, and in fact it's the only one found in one of those 18. This is a clan that is sometimes able to glide. Yes, this is the family that's got flying snakes. And as an added twist, thanks to the magics that exist in the universe, and the fact that all of these 18 locations have wolf snakes, all of them are prone to lycanthropy. Yes, werewolf Sarpas. They're called Sarwolves. The spot that's only got this clan, lycanthropy is very heavy in that particular patch. In that location, I'd only been able to find wolf snakes when searching. Family Cyclocordidae. This was a much smaller clan, and it's only found in a single corner of the galaxy. I didn't save anything for this family in my document, at least nothing about the snakes themselves. Family Cylindrophidae. Cylindrophidae? Something like that. They are inspired and influenced by pipe snakes. Yeah, they are in 5 corners of the galaxy, with 2 of them being proper fusions, 2 based on Cylindrophis rufus, and the last based on Cylindrophis maculatus. I don't know why I saved some of these common names. Not common names. Why some of these Latin names? Family Elapidae. The family that everyone thinks of when they think snake person. Although this spans more than just cobras. It also includes kraits and coral snakes, all the ones with short, permanently erect fangs. This also means that even though they're present in 18 corners of the galaxy, they don't all have hoods. Also, I'd opted to split this clan into 2 factions, the terrestrials and the aquatics. There were just enough of them, and they were just different enough that I felt justified about this. And if you've met an aquatic elapid, they don't have hoods. Oh yeah, some of the terrestrials can be prone to vampirism. It was so tempting to just drop that bombshell and not explain it at all. The truth is, I decided that if a fusion got the blood-bellied coral snake, that was enough of a justification to make a vampire Sarpa. Family Homalopsidae, inspired and influenced by mud snakes. They're found in 14 different corners of the universe. Family Pyridae, inspired and influenced by snail-eating snakes and slug snakes. This is frequently the shortest Sarpa in any of the 8 corners of the universe they share with the others. Family Samophidae is another one I forgot to write the description for outside of my Sarpa building. They're found in 10 corners of the galaxy, with 3 of them being based exclusively on Samophis condanaris, the sand snake. I wonder if any of them got any Gara-like tendencies. This one's unique in that they can actually have ancestral lore. There's an extinct member of this family, Samophis odysseus. Feel free to write up fanworks in the comments. Family Pseudaspidae. There we go, that was right. Man, I forgot to write snake descriptions down for a lot of these. Anyway, they're found in 12 corners of the galaxy, and only one of those is a proper fusion. The rest of them are either based on the common mock viper or the painted mock viper. That last one's only in a single corner. Family Pythonidae, inspired and influenced by pythons. These are non-venomous but massive, the largest clan in all of their 17 corners of the galaxy. Oh, and 3 corners have this clan also prone to vampirism because of the blood python being involved. A vampiric python. You do not want this one getting its coils on you, especially because this is probably the only clan of Sarpas that will consider humans as food. The elapids can come close to getting big enough to eat humans. They're frequently the second biggest, but they don't see humans as food. Family Uropeltidae. This is a clan based on the shield tails, earth snakes, burrowing snakes, and thorntails. A family of primitive, non-venomous burrowing snakes. The name is derived from the Greek words ura for tail and pelte for shield, indicating the presence of the large keratinous shield at the tip of the tail. These snakes are not well known. They're small and fossorial, meaning they spend most of their lives underground. They're only found in 2 corners of the galaxy. Family Viperidae. This is a clan based off of true vipers and pit vipers. Venomous with long hinged fangs that they can amazingly decide how much venom to use on their prey based on the size of said prey, and even choose whether or not they inject venom with. Yeah, they'll dry bite. The elapids can do that too. They're found in 17 corners of the galaxy, some of which do divide themselves. I only did that when there were just so many species in genus Trimeresurus that I felt bad mixing them with everything else in that location. And no, there are no rattlesnakes here. I know, sad, but there aren't any rattlesnakes in Asia, so none of them qualified. Family Xenodermidae. Inspired and influenced by the odd-scaled snakes, or dragon snakes. All species in the family Xenodermidae are small or moderately sized snakes. They are secretive, probably nocturnal, and typically inhabit moist forest habitats. They seem to be opportunistic carnivores preying on other vertebrates. They're found in 8 corners of the galaxy. And lastly, family Xenopeltidae. Xenopeltis, the sunbeam snakes, are the sole genus of the monotypic family Xenopeltidae. Sunbeam snakes are known for their highly iridescent scales. They're found in 10 corners of the universe, although out of all of those corners, only 1 is an actual fusion. All the rest are exclusively based on Xenopeltis unicolor. Now, I'm sure people watching me draw are thinking this is a male Sarpa, and maybe it is. The simple truth is that I'm choosing to not have them super visibly distinct between male and female. Snakes generally aren't, to the casual observer. Differences in the animal kingdom are in size, color, and/or shape. And in snakes, sure, one gender might be bigger than the other, but which one isn't consistent and is not always by enough to be obvious. I can only think of one time that I found a color difference. I think it was males of that species were more likely to be green, while females were more likely to be brown. And as for shape, with the exception of one genus in Colubridae that had a differently shaped nose decoration between males and females, and a handful of families where males have larger pelvic spurs than females, there's nothing. If anyone's got a pet snake and they want to know if they have a male or a female, they've got to get it probed to find out, because there's literally no visible difference. Some species have the females with shorter tails than males, but that's not always the case. I can only remember that being true for the plains on no snake. But Tapper, you're probably thinking, Sarpas are half human. Surely there's some differences between them that comes from that. And, well, to be honest, that's why I'm admitting that there'd be differences at all. They might have somewhat different head shapes, like males having a squarer lower jaw than females or something. But for those who have a fondness for the, assets of women, I've got bad news for you. Sarpas don't nurse their young, not even the ones that bear live young, so they don't have what human women do. A newborn Sarpa is about the same development-wise as about a 1 or 2-year-old human, well past the weaning age. Sarpas can shapeshift, either into a full snake or a full human, but even then, their humanity has some limitations. Women are still tragically flat-chested and both black guinea hair. Now, I know the pictures I've shown of my past artwork, at least if future Tapper figured out how to get them into the video, have had them with hair. This isn't necessarily non-canon, but the hair isn't actually theirs. While watching a lore video for Warhammer 40k that was talking about the orcs, I learned that they will use a little hairy creature called a hair squig for a bit of a symbiotic relationship. Those little guys would bite onto an orc's scalp and stay there feeding on the parasites that may find themselves on the orc, and the orc gets a little hairdo. I might borrow that for the Sarpas, letting a creature live on them and ensure they stay parasite-free while also treating its hair as their own. I'm still in the development stage for that. I also still haven't come up with any true culture for them yet. everything is still very heavily influenced by the snake's habits and habitats. I know that it's certain terrestrial elapid clans who are responsible for building villages, seeing as it's only the king cobra that builds nests. From there, I don't have much yet. But anyway, thank you all for coming to watch my video and listen to me ramble. I really do appreciate it. I look forward to possibly seeing you next time for the snake wolves. That would have been this week's video, but it took longer to get him knitted up than I thought it would. Anyways, yeah, I'll see ya!